Welcome to another video from alpacaguild.com. Whether you already have an established herd or you're just thinking about getting started, we have tips and advice to help you on your journey. This video we're going to be looking at tree lucerne, a really useful additional fodder that you can give to your animals, especially during these seasons where there isn't a lot of grass growth. Let's get into it. So it's the first week of spring. If Mother Nature were behaving herself, then the grass would really start to be growing now. It's a little bit slow this year, so it's important that we continue to feed out some hay. It's essential for their diet, but it's not the only thing we can use to supplement the grass during the quieter months. Let's take a look at a tree that is fantastic forage for your animals. It can provide year-round supplements. Isn't that right? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So we've got a good selection that we can harvest from here. I'm going to pick a fairly large one, give it the greatest chance when we get it into its new location. This one here looks good. I'll just tease that up from the ground. Look at that, amazing root system. That will give it a really good chance when we get it into the new ground. We've got some other things that we'll do to really look after it once it gets to its new home as well. Let's go and get it planted. So I've chosen this as the location to plant these trees. I'm going to be creating a small forest of them here. It's a very windy hillside. If I can control some of that wind that's rolling up here, that'll stop some of the land drying out. It'll protect some of the soil erosion, and it'll be an easy area that I can get to be able to harvest these trees to provide fodder to the alpacas. Let's get started. Tree lucerne's a fairly hardy tree. It certainly doesn't like wet feet, I've noticed. But if you can put it in an area that you're fairly sure is free draining, it should survive well. There's no treatment that we need to do for this. We can simply put it into some of the topsoil here. I do have clay beneath this, but it'll be some time before this tree gets anywhere near it, by which time it should be very well established. Let's get it in the ground. And that really is all there is to it. But there's one other thing I'm going to do to give this a real fighting chance. These plastic sleeves, they really serve two purposes. One is to keep the wind off them whilst they're still young and they're getting established. The other is to stop the rabbits. They are delicious for rabbits, and without these we might see some of them disappear. Now, a trick that I've learned is when you put the pipe through for the first time, make sure you create a hole in this bag. You can see that I'm just feeding the leg through one of them. What that'll be is, if a really strong wind comes through here, it's not going to take this bag off and it flies away. This tree now stands a good fighting chance against predators. It might look a little bit sad for a few days. They do tend to feel a bit sorry for themselves when they first go in the ground. Give this a couple of weeks though and it'll start to look healthy. And certainly within a year it should be a very well established tree that's actually providing some real value to your alpaca herd. Let's get another one in the ground. And there we have it, two trees in the ground on a pretty windy hillside, but they're going to make a big difference to how we control the wind around this property while providing value to those alpacas. Let's go and check some of the other smaller forests that we've started to create around here. So these trees, maybe only 18 months old, we've already started to take some of it off to feed to the animals. And that really just helps keep it in nice shape as well. They can grow a bit scraggly if they're just left to do what they want to do, but by trimming them they can really be made to look quite nice trees. These flowers are specifically for spring. Most of the time they're just green, but they are evergreen trees, so they really do look magnificent year round. So here we've chosen to use tree lucerne as a boundary fence, really. It provides fantastic shelter from the wind, it prevents some of that grass drying out, and of course the alpacas naturally keep it nice and trimmed. They love it when they can get their hands on it. No, they don't have hands. Oh well, they still enjoy it.